Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Boss Rush. It is Friday. Well, it must be Friday because it's Boss Rush. But we got everybody here. Oh, I'm so happy. My name is Chris Melisinos. I'm the principal evangelist for video games at AWS. And full crew here we have right there at the top next to me. Who's that?
Hey, Dean Takahashi, editorial director at the GameSpeak.
Welcome, Dean. And right underneath Dean there.
Is that me?
That would, yeah, I guess it's you. You can still see the same scene, right? For goodness sake, that would be you.
I am the confused CEO of 10-6 Games, Susan Cummings, just back from Scotland, where I think I found my spirit animal city. That's a thing.
Yes. We like we said, we're going to war in the morning, and.
Hey, no, I'm going to just laugh at that. Hi, it's Mark Delora. I am Exec Director of Growth and Innovation at GDC and still a learning games consultant / developer. Still do lots of work.
Yay! That's right. Yeah, and as Dean was saying before we jumped in live here, it's like, yeah, Mark is busy Mark now. He just,
I am crazy Mark now, yeah.
Well...
Gonna skip Tokyo Game Show, which I'm extremely bummed about just because my
What?
hair is on fire. Also, I need to go update my passport. That's the other thing I need to do.
Oh, yeah. Definitely going to get that done. But as we go ahead and jump into the news this week, remember you can watch us here on LinkedIn. But if you happen to be watching us on YouTube or Twitch instead, we'll have some more interactive bits that will continue getting added to the show and everything, so we can do all the interaction. We just can't do it through LinkedIn. But send any questions, comments, news items that you think we should go ahead and hit today, and I'll be managing all of the chats. And with that, let's go ahead and jump right in because we have a solid hour ahead of us, and then we are out of here. So yeah. All right. Starting off as always, go Mark.
Need to ask Dean what he thought of the Ray-Ban Meta AI display Gen 2, whatever the name is. Maybe you can help me with that too. But I'm super curious about the display.
Is that all you're curious about the MetaConnect?
Yeah, I went to the MetaConnect event for Meta's annual, AI and AR and VR event at their headquarters in San Mateo, and they showed off the $800 Ray-Ban Meta display glasses. So they finally brought augmented reality into the AI glasses that they've had selling. Those previous glasses have been selling pretty good for the past year or so, and this one is there's a price difference. Like I think that they announced the Gen 2 of those original glasses at $379, and you get like double the battery life and all that. But the $800 version gets you augmented reality displays sort of running in the lower part of the screen on sort of in lens on your glasses, right? So kind of like a Google Glass like effect. I didn't get to see this in front of my eyes, but just based on what they were showing, it's fairly ready and robust now. Like they're shipping this stuff, and they Mark Zuckerberg, he came on stage with it on, and while I say it's robust, the actual live demos that he was doing, he had real trouble with for the entire event. But still, they did show the camera view of what he was seeing as he's walking out, and people cheering him on as he's walking up on the stage, and he can see those people making faces at him and stuff like that on the screen. And then he jogged out with Diplo, the DJ, to the party event after that. So I don't know. You could basically put on a whole show with these glasses, I think. But yeah, they're very cool. I always wondered what they were spending their money on for $3 billion a quarter in losses, right? And finally started thinking, wow, nobody else is doing something like this in a frame so small. Like the frame is just exactly the size of glasses, really. And it has a slightly bigger sidebar to it that has a lot of the computing elements, but it's it's standalone. It's got wireless, and it has AI where you can ask the AI, what am I looking at? And I tried that part, and it seemed like it was getting better at just recognizing things. But you have your usual, say, disappointments with that kind of testing. Like I was looking at Meta's headquarters buildings, and I said, "What am I looking at?" And it said, "You're looking at some buildings." And
You're like, yeah,
thanks a lot.
That was helpful. Well, that sounds awesome. I don't think I've ever told you guys that like my start in the games industry was working in VR on something called a virtual retinal display, which was a set of glasses with a display in the lens. The idea back then was that we'd bounce a microwatt or picowatt laser off the lens, like mounted at the hinge point. This is Tom Furness, former Wright-Patterson Air Force Base guy. Anyway, so it's pretty awesome to me to see like a pair of glasses coming out with a display. I'm like, run, don't walk, to go get one of those.
If you want to pay $800 for your glasses, which is not actually outrageous right now, you can do so.
No, I mean, could you imagine if the Vision Pro had come out at that price point? AR,
Right. Cheaper than a RTX 5080.
I don't know. I'm jaded and burnt out on AR, and I've been taking a long, much needed rest from it. I think that the biggest problem is that no one wants to fund content, at least for our industry. Like, this is great. It has nothing to do with games, really. It's
Right.
A heads-up display. It's a step along the way, but until these folks actually really start investing in games and killer apps and content and stuff, they're just going to keep languishing.
Yeah, chicken and egg problem, right? It's a lot of friction there.
They had a couple of other good demos of technologies that are coming real soon here. Like Hyperscape was one where you put on a VR headset and then you look around the room for a few minutes, and then it scans the entire room and brings it to you in high res.
I saw that. Yeah. It's
to make you feel like you're in a bakery or you're at home. Like, say, if you were traveling, you could go see what your home looks like. They showed off an sort of this 3D scape of Gordon Ramsay's home in his kitchen.
Nice.
So that was cool, and you could move around the kitchen, right? And so see it from different points of view.
So speaking of Gordon Ramsay and being able to go ahead and map a room like that, there's an idea to use these types of things where we can have those experts with us when we are performing, a task. So like specifically around cooking, I was like, wouldn't it be great if you had the ability to put, down a large cutting board and you have these ingredients and you look down and there's Gordon Ramsay and it looks down and goes, okay, you have all the ingredients that you need here. Now, if you want to go ahead and cut this stuff up, here's how you hold the knife and start doing it like this, and turn that into a game. That would be amazing, right? For people like me who like to cook, but are not very good at it, like grilling. Well, my family would argue I'm not very good at that either, but I like to try doing that. But it's things like, how do we start bridging that gap between, these really, truly useful experiences that we can follow along with an expert using, pass through VR or AR. Now the glasses, I understand. We're not going to be there yet, right? But certainly
closer,
that's
though.
a use case.
Closer.
Yeah. And then Oakley had some glasses with Meta as well that was sort of had a lot more AI focus on it and was geared towards athletes, and so athletes and performance. So
Awesome.
that was
Cool.
It's those use cases, like you say, Chris, that make me stop and think. Like, we keep looking at how much money Meta is spending on this stuff and going, how can you keep spending? Then you talk about something like that and you're like, how can you not spend money on that? That would be amazing. I don't blame them for being excited and investing into it.
Yeah.
They feel like they're the only show in town in some ways for people who are in the market showing off real glasses too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, look, I mean, in a prior life, there was discussion for a company I was working for about, oh, this is what we have to tackle. I'm like, fantastic. Tackle processing, tackle optics, tackle battery, and then tackle form and fit. If you can't do all of those, you're not going to get there. So people were complaining, well, there's still, you can't avoid the chunk is what they were saying. You're just like, okay, yes, because we are still getting these things down to that workable size. The one interesting thing though is that wristband that they use to control it, that Mark was using to control.
Yeah, I've been hearing about that for ages. Yeah.
So it reminds me, I had that a friend of mine got me the BB-8 robot, and then they had a band that you could wear so you could make like hand gestures and control BB-8 as a little,
I didn't know that.
as a little robot. Yeah, and never quite got it to work correctly. And so my question is, Dean, I don't know if you got to play around with any of this at all, but what happens if the band, right, the battery is drained? Like, how do you then interact with those glasses? Did there like touch or swipe controls, or their phone controls?
Yeah, there's swipe controls like this, it turns up the volume or whatever, and like you press there's only one button on it. You press the one button and it'll take a picture. If you press the hold down the button, it takes a video. And then the other thing of that is just play music, or you can take your calls while having this on. It's like having AirPods on, right?
Yeah.
That's the main form of control. And then I think with the wrist, I think they were showing how Mark Zuckerberg was sort of typing while he was on stage, right, using his fingers,
right,
sort of air type. Right.
Yep. Oh wait, Oakley Meta Vanguard AI glasses.
Yeah, we're getting fancy in the designs too. Like, just
that looks
regular
nice.
glasses, right? So.
Well, fancy or throwback, right? Are we going to do gargoyles next? That'll be, if you remember, back in the day. No, but you certainly have a lot more room, right, in these versus these in which to do all of that. But no,
I'd be curious to see how they compare with the X-Ro glasses, because I had some demos done for me at GDC. They're really cool.
Yeah,
those are fairly big by comparison.
Yeah, they feel
might be
they're more of a. You're right. They don't feel like
twice
sunglasses.
as heavy, I think. Right? I would guess. But these are very lightweight. In fact, if I dig through my backpack here.
Oh, that's right. We got a show and tell day here too. Mark's got some stuff to show too.
Here we go. There's the case.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
I like the case is what they use for charging, and these are
the new ones.
Yeah, these are
nice.
these are the Gen 2 ones. Sadly, not one of those with the display. But
okay, all right, that's what I was gonna say. Wow, how did you get that right?
Hey.
Cool. Yeah, you're right.
We'll have to post that photo to show notes.
What's the difference between Gen 1 and Gen 2? Cause
twice as much battery. They also, I think, it was 3K visuals now, so like it can take pictures or record videos in 3K. So almost like a much better, close to 4K, but HD like experience really. So
cool.
Better quality on those things. Let's see, and I think you can tell the difference in price between the $379 sort of base glasses, and then adding the display and the neural wristband in gets you to $800.
Okay.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what did you think of there's a lot of discussion going on around the demos that were done, specifically the cooking one and then the phone call answering one. What was it like them not working, Mark? I don't know if you were keeping up, but two of them
I think
just
the
completely
cooking one
crashed out.
On the cooking one demo that crashed, you could hear that the guy on the other side of the wireless line jumped the gun, and he asked the question too soon while the AI voice was still talking, right? And so he kind of messed it up. And so, but had he waited just a couple seconds more, then they would have had like a smoother sort of start to the demo. And so it went downhill from there, and it just wouldn't capture the sound that he was saying, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so that was a bit sad. I think that was a human error on stage.
Right. But then, of course, everybody ran wild with it, and not in defense of any, company or this or that. And what I said, though, in my post is, you know what? Sometimes shit just happens, right? And it does. And when you're doing live
Zuckerberg
demos
was,
like that,
he was fairly calm on stage about it. And then he said, shall we?
Yeah.
One more. Let's try one more live demo. That one failed too.
When he said, he goes, all right, we'll try another demo and hopefully that one will work. And then it didn't. And he's like, okay, but you remember Steve Jobs when he was launching the iPhone 4, it's just like everybody shut your devices off because you are crushing the Wi-Fi in the room. And he said, so if you want to see the demos, everybody shut your stuff off. Yeah. Right. And it's not, and that's what happens. And I love that. If you're that much of a believer and stuff happens, it happens, right? So you just move past it. So I think they did the right thing of just, hey, you know what? Okay, let's go. Right. I've been in those situations. In fact, there was one time at a Java 1 conference, this one demo, cratered on stage, but I know it had run hundreds of times, and this poor engineer was up there, and the executive that was there was just like, oh, okay, is your resume up to date? Just like that. Everyone starts laughing. The guy rebuilt the demo in 90 seconds on stage. Everybody went like standing ovation right there because 90 seconds he was back up and running. I was like, all right, that's how you do that. So yeah, there's a lot still left to dig through, but I'm interested to try the new glass as well. Look pretty awesome. All right, sorry, didn't mean to take you all the way down that rabbit hole.
Another sort of platform level big event this week with NVIDIA and Intel teaming up on x86 CPUs and server CPUs and GPUs for laptops. And yeah, that was sort of a surprise of the century kind of announcement, where these guys used to be in locked in battle, and NVIDIA could never get its x86 license from Intel. And then so they're doing this deal, and then NVIDIA, is now the far more valuable company, and they invested $5 billion into Intel. That, that could prop up their stock price, but also like save the CEO's job, right? So very, very interesting news, and I think they're going to have a lot of NVIDIA chiplets or pieces of custom AI features to add into the CPUs to make them just much better, right? So NVIDIA is still going to have this alliance with ARM and make ARM-based things too, but now they can, I guess, have much better performance in sort of the the high volume part of data centers. So.
My first thought after complete shock was why didn't they match the U.S. government chips and science investment, which was around $9 billion? So I would have, I was like, oh, that's super interesting that they did that. I wonder why.
It's not cash into Intel's hands. Like it is propping up the stock price.
Yeah.
And so like the value of the stock is probably going to go up if somebody invests $5 billion into the company, right? And so NVIDIA gets a return out of that if Intel does well. But yeah, I think in this case, it's not necessarily part of any deal where cash goes into Intel's hands. I think that's still possible, right? Like those are things that they could work out, because one of the big questions they had was, well, does this mean NVIDIA is going to finally start using Intel factories and maybe not give all of its business to TSMC?
Yeah. Well, if the Intel fabs can get to the right node, maybe.
And they said, we're not talking about that today.
My understanding is that there's some distance between where TSMC is at and Intel is at, so maybe there's some work to do there.
Yeah.
Intel still has to prove itself there.
But doesn't this just feel like we're entering yet another, fork or era, right? Like the fact that this is where Intel has landed in kind of the chip landscape. This is very different than the Intel that we've all grown up with, right? So it's, I have no other comment other than that it's just weird.
Yeah, and it's not too dissimilar from when the auto industry was getting, investments into it.
Mhm.
At least that's how I think about it in my brain. Like Intel is a really valuable U.S. company, especially competitively. So seeing folks jumping in to support it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
It's also like just about personal relationships too, because the new CEO of Intel is Lip-Bu Tan. He's been there 6 months, but he's known Jensen Huang for 30 years, right?
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
I think it's very, it's not surprising that they would strike an agreement because it's these two people, right?
Yeah.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, speaking, we were talking about a conference and then we pivoted there into Intel, but I want to make sure that we also cover another conference that was going on this past week that Susan went ahead and attended. Susan, can you talk to us a bit about DICE?
Yeah, I was at DICE Europe for a couple of days this week, which was my first trip to Edinburgh, which is hands down the coolest city. I had no idea how magical Edinburgh is. Chris and I were talking about it. It feels like you're in a role-playing game with I and we and all that.
Yeah, we were talking about.
How is this a surprise?
I know it makes no sense to me. I've also never been to Ireland or Northern Ireland. Just Wales and England until now. Next summer, I'm fixing that. I'm going all around the British Isles and seeing all of it. Finally.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And so now I'm really excited about it. It's just, it's such a gothic vibe to it. It's just really something.
Well, that's what I meant.
And because Lee,
I'm sorry. When we were talking about going to, when we talking about going to war, Mark, it's so much dark stone in the city that it does feel like, all right, eat well and drink up tonight because tomorrow we go to war.
I was gonna say, so I hadn't really planned for the times I had to just wander around a path because Lee wasn't there and he always does that for me. So instead I just wandered, and so it was a really neat way to see a city. I just wander a corner, I'm like, wow, look at that building and stuff. So anyway, but the Scottish government and the Scottish Games Alliance and the Academy, the red carpet was rolled out for the game industry in such a stunning, precedent-setting way. They had this whole castle tour with bagpipes and visits to rooms you normally couldn't get to, and whiskey, and it was just it was really special. I have to say.
Did you go do that whiskey tasting at the?
I did not, but I know someone who did. Who said it was amazing as well.
When we visited, one of my daughters was studying abroad during her senior year, and we went over to visit her. We took our whole family, and then we went down to Scotland. It was during my birthday, and she's like, "Dad, I've arranged for a whiskey tasting at the world's largest, private whiskey collection," and it was incredible. Of course, my other kid's like, "Oh, this is gross." I'm like, "Give it to Dad."
Exactly.
Dad was
lots of whiskey was had by all.
Fish and chips and whiskey for sure.
No, it was great. There were so many friends there, who I didn't know would be there. So many women, as I mentioned on LinkedIn, who've been in the industry a long time, like Karen Kaplan and Andrea and Jen McLean, and it was really lovely, just all going out together and spending time together. I mean, we've all known each other for 30 years.
Yeah.
Did they have some interesting talks, like speakers?
They had 2 days worth of talks. I embarrassingly waited to the last second to book, and it was sold out. So I didn't get to go to the talks. I was just wishing and hanging out. But yes, there were some great. I heard in particular there was a really interesting talk about Gen AI and how it's starting to be integrated into workflows and things like that. So that was certainly a topic of the week, was talking about Gen AI. I know that Mark Sabatnik's studio shipped their first game.
I heard that.
This week.
Okay, try it out.
Having that on the Switch. So that was I was with his
Okay.
wife, Michelle, who's awesome. And so I was hearing
Yeah.
all about that and all about the launch. And there was a Carter bar. I think that was the coolest thing.
Aw. Really?
Yeah. They took over a bar across the street. It was like a poster.
Carter, the great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
The
awesome.
whole bar, like the name on the front, the menu, the drinks on the
Yeah.
menu. It was and it
Aw.
was such a it was like for 3 days. It was amazing. So that was really fun.
Yeah, there's been some discussion that's popped on LinkedIn too about Carter and everything, and it's just I'd always told people that the most amazing thing about that man was whether you knew him for 10 years or 10 minutes, when he spoke to you, you felt like you were the most important person in the room at that moment, and you were like he was genuinely interested in who you are and what you had to say. Always kind, right? Always first to reach out. And in fact, Mark and I have a very good friend, Alan Brooks, who opened up a new arcade here in the Northern Virginia area and got to know Carter through a game night that we would host. And one of the drinks on the hidden menu is called the Pleasant and Present, or Present and Pleasant.
Oh, that's
And if you
awesome.
order it, it's served to you in a Carter the Great. This whiskey is served in a Carter the Great glass. So people that have no idea, but if you know what to ask for, there's a touch of Carter there too. So,
And it just shows, like, I mean, this was this was right before GDC that he passed away, and we're still mourning him, and you don't see that happen very often.
no. And just remember, it takes nothing to be kind. So
It's true.
just be
True.
kind. All right.
Oh, just,
Yeah,
love to
it was
Carter.
a really nice few days. I highly recommend it. It's going to be in Athens next year. I'm going to book earlier this time.
It's going
and
to be in
actually-
Athens?
Nice.
Wow.
Yes. I'm hoping the
Okay.
Acropolis,
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
We're all going, right? We're
I
going to do Boston.
I got some hookups. I've got some hookups for you there in Greece. No problem. No problem. We've got family right there in the suburbs of Athens. So
Nice.
Just
exactly.
note, Mark Subotnik's game is Storm Lancers, and it launched on a Nintendo Switch, right? And,
It is launched.
Yeah.
Nice.
Probably Monsters.
Awesome.
I just grabbed it today. I
first
haven't had a
game.
chance to play it yet, but yeah.
Yeah, I've had a chance to play it a little bit. Fantastic, and really look forward to digging into it. And friend of the program and friend of ours, Amir Satvat, has already posted it, like a mini review of it on LinkedIn as well. So congratulations to that team, and to Bot, of course, and everybody getting that out the door. Love it. Love it. Yeah, really fantastic. Awesome.
I will say that I was surprised how few like VC types were there. Anecdotally, I think there are two VCs that I know of.
Really?
Kelly from One Up, and Spike from Hero were there. They were the only two people that I
Only two?
noticed.
Wow.
Anyway. I shouldn't say that. And the private equity company that bought Relic and Amber and all of them, they were there. That was it, though. Like that just surprised me a little bit. Yeah.
Not really a financial event. Yeah.
No, but I always think of Dice Vegas as being very businessy. So I was just a little bit surprised by that. Plenty of publishers present, folks and publishers present, but I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Mark, what you got, buddy?
Well, since we're talking about Edinburgh, which I found to be extremely cold when I was there, so we'll forever be called Edinburgh. I wonder what you thought of the
weather was beautiful.
Apparently,
it
it's
rained
beautiful.
when I landed, and then it was nice the whole rest of the time. I have to say,
Don't go in February.
We got very lucky. It's bad in February.
That's why they have whiskey, I think. I saw that Taiga, was it Taiga? Yeah, Taiga was calling for stronger tax credits for the UK game industry. I found this on gameindustry.biz, and now the link appears to be broken.
But I found this one instead.
Mark Laura's new job. What about that one?
Oh, we're going to talk about that. But before we get off of Scotland, there was this other one. Yuki launches Interactive Entertainment Scotland.
Yes, that was announced there. Yeah.
That one.
Nick Poole was there from Yuki, and it was announcing some stuff. It became the big joke that there should be Suki in Scotland and Wookie in Wales and Yuki.
And Wookie in Kashyyyk. Thank you all. I'm going to let myself out right now.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. That was even super nerdy for me. But yeah, this is pretty cool. The formation of a dedicated trade body to champion and collaborate across Scotland's globally renowned games sector is both timely and important, said Scotland's Minister for Business and Employment, Richard.
Timely and important, not mysterious and important.
Right, exactly. As the birthplace of globally significant titles from Lemmings to Grand Theft Auto and home to companies involved in globally significant titles such as Minecraft, the games industry in Scotland has undergone meteoric growth. So that's great. 130 computer game enterprises.
From Nintendo, like six people came over from Nintendo Japan for
Oh,
it.
nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Glad to
So good on you, Scotland.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right,
I
now
copied the Tiger News into the LinkedIn thread.
Thank you. All right, now for Dean's question of you, Mark.
Hi.
What you doing?
What am I doing? Well, we had a GDC advisory board meeting last weekend, which was super fun.
Nice.
Like 50 amazing people in the game industry. You can the list is on the GDC site, Game Developers Conference site. So I got to hang out with them all weekend and talk about
the Dungeon Master for Innovation or something.
Dungeon Master. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, we settled on Executive Director, Innovation and Growth. So yeah, trying to get GDC ready for the future is kind of how I think about it. I'm sitting here wondering how much has been announced so far, but there's a ton of investment and exploration going into the conference this year to try and make it new and fun and different and like the same amount of content, same content that you've always had, but with lots and lots more going on.
I'm gonna throw out again, so it's at the top of your mind, Mark, my big suggestion a few weeks ago, which is that there should be a parallel GDC going on in Europe at the same time, where there could be cross chatter and share screens and some virtual chats. And then Asia too, why not? Why just have it be in the US? There could be like a few places that GDC.
I know. I keep looking at what Gamescom's doing with Gamescoms in different places and Dice's in different places. Are there Games Beats in Europe now? I'm waiting for that.
Yeah,
that's a good question, Dean.
It's time to join the global chess game.
Yeah.
Help me in, Dean. Do Games Beat Europe. I'll help.
This is this one's Dungeon Master approved.
Watch out for the checkmate from Gamescom. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You all keep talking. I'm going to try to do something here. Keep talking.
There was some news that I thought was interesting. I don't know if you're finished, Mark, too.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm holding my tongue a little bit because I don't think things have been announced yet, and there's announcements, coming down the road. So I'll wait.
Well, there's interesting news that some of the Atari titles are going to be featured in the Global Gaming League competitions, and this concept it comes from this former music mogul, Clinton Sparks, and he's getting a bunch of celebrities together who will own esports teams, and the esports teams will compete in sort of streamed, televised shows where those celebrities are also going to be appearing, and so the shows may get some good social sharing because the celebrities are all involved. Like T-Pain is like a co-founder of this, and now they have Atari games that are going to be in the competition too. So it's not all hardcore games that they're going to have, but like Centipede and Food Fight and Pong. So there'll be like teams competing to be the best at Pong and things like that. And they have like shows that they put on in Las Vegas. Right? So they have an in-person audience, but also then stream it out. And so it's very interesting sort of concept for how to draw a lot of attention to esports events. Right?
Okay.
And that's cool. Probably the first one not in Saudi Arabia for some time too.
Yep. Why is that reminding me of this on Netflix? There's a K-pop thing where they're pairing up traditional Western musicians with people who are
K-pop demon hunters, right?
I think that there was a competition too. I'm spacing out. I haven't watched it yet. I keep seeing it. Aside from like Pop Star Academy and K-pop demon hunters, there's this competition thing. I forget. K-popped. There it is. It's called K-popped.
All right.
All K-pop all the time in this house. Let me tell you. It's true. We had Baby Monster come through last week. Seraphim
take
was
off my meta
here a
glasses.
couple days ago.
It's a soundbite there. I'm gonna take off my meta glasses because I can't see anything with them.
No.
They do have the prescription version that you can
Yeah.
order from them, but you have to.
It is crazy. If you go to like Lensmaster, is that what it's called? I hadn't been to one of those for ages here in the U.S. We went over there to get a special prescription for something, and they had a whole wall of the Ray-Ban Meta stuff. I was like, "Whoa, this is like."
I saw them at our local here in Wales at Vision Express, where I go. They had not recently, but I have seen meta glasses there before.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, you can just be like, I want this as my frame, and just like cut the lens like you normally would, and I'm going to use the meta glasses. Like, heck.
I just don't want to go back to glasses. I like my contacts.
Yeah.
Chris, I don't know if you could show this EA shows off massive Mirak Valley map for Battlefield 6 on our screen, but that was another little piece of news that EA announced some demos and videos of this gigantic map in Battlefield 6, and it's so big that you can actually have the jets, do dogfights over the skies, and have helicopters, to have a lot of room to maneuver across this big map. And I think this is one of those things that, it looks more like a Warzone size map or something, and it's one of those things Battlefield can do with their sort of prioritization of different things in the game for massive battle spaces. I think that Call of Duty is probably not going to get to unless you're talking about Battle Royale. So they didn't say this was a Battle Royale map though, but I think it could be possible.
And what was the name of the map?
It's called Mirak Valley, and I don't remember exactly what kind of setting this is.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's got like a town and city in so if you look for Battlefield 6 on September 17th, then you'll find that. But,
Am I the only one who's getting a little bit of cringe seeing like New York and like American cities and tanks running around in them in Battlefield, given the National Guard situation here? That's making me sweat a little bit, I have to say.
I was getting cringe about that maybe 15 years ago, but I'm so used to it.
You get used to it. Yeah. I guess
I'm
that's
used
it.
to seeing San Francisco in Watch Dogs. And,
no, you're right. And Washington, D.C.
London and Watch Dogs.
Yeah,
I guess I just haven't played the
Miami
kind of games for a while.
Grand Theft Auto.
No, you're right. I'm gonna go back to my cozy games. See ya.
Right. Now this is not identifiably U.S. It seems like some other place to me.
Yeah. This one doesn't. Yeah.
New escalation mode takes advantage of big maps full of vehicles and destructible buildings.
Yeah, they're also going to have Battle Royale for the first time.
Oh yeah, there you go. Look at that.
Turn that off.
Wow, Battle Royale in Battlefield. That must be some work.
Yeah.
Good job.
We just need to have a dance battle mode. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to be in New York, we got to put dance battle mode. Otherwise,
the guy drops his gun and starts doing the Dougie.
Yeah. Okay. See, now that's where you went wrong, sir. No. If it's in New York, it's got to be cardboard spinning on backs and some good old rap. So, yeah, it does look amazing.
Everybody knows Rob Pardo, but speaking of Battle Royale, after 9 years, they showed off the game this week that they're making. It's called Archeron, and it has a Battle Royale version of it, but it's a multiplayer game with 3 people on a team, and 15 teams go into this tower. And it's very Diablo-like. It's sort of from this kind of point of view, and they fight monsters and things like that, and then they have to get to these different sort of beacon sites across this dungeon. And if you don't get there, then you don't go up to the next level. And there's like 4 levels to this fight. It might be a 15 or 25-minute match, and very sort of different take on Battle Royale. where you're just sort of going up each floor of this 4-story tower. And yeah, it's very very interesting and original gameplay. So it's not really a just a mix of Diablo meets Battle Royale, but very different kind of take. But they spent 7 years making this game, and like the first thing they did was like they just like came up with 35 ideas for games, and let's start prototyping some of these, and then finding the fun and finding like that they eventually found a good combat loop, and then they had to send their network engineers back to ground zero.
I'll bet.
To program all of it, because it was a different combat loop than what they had originally thought they were going to do. So that took more time, and then they just iterated every day around this fun part, and then built this game around it. And I think eventually got to this point 7 years later where they can show it off and start real testing. So
Nice.
it's still probably not coming until maybe next year, I would guess. But very, very interesting and original work, and their process was very methodical, and I thought very interesting.
It's a nice different story than the normal, like we crunched our brains out for 2 years and launched this. It's nice to hear, we will, who is it? So like we serve no wine until it's time. I don't know. Was that
That's
Gallo?
right.
I forget.
That was Orson Welles.
That was
right?
Orson Welles.
Orson
that's
Welles.
right. And
Thank
it was,
you.
was it
Gallo.
like, yeah, that's it. It was Gallo wine. I was thinking Martini and Rossi, Asti Spumante, but that was not it. That's right. That and the Dark Tower commercials that he did. Those were the best. Oh my goodness.
Did he do the Dark Tower commercials?
He did. Yes.
No.
Yes, he
I just
did.
found my Dark Tower. I just found it just the other day. Wednesday.
Well, we have
Coming
to
soon.
we have to bust that out, and I got the new one. I did the Kickstarter on that one, and it's amazing. Spits like skulls out onto the field and everything. Yeah, it's crazy. We'll talk about that later.
Nerd time.
Yeah, that's
Are we
right.
talking
Exactly.
about the same Dark Tower? Or are we talking Lord of the Rings or Stephen King here?
No.
board game.
We're talking about the board game from Milton Bradley.
I can still hear it in my head.
That's a exactly, and it's fantastic.
Stephen King's awesome, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We should like GDC. There should be a classic games night.
Okay, look, you're going to. I'll have so many of these things to do. We'll do it all in the Boss Rush Lounge. So that's what we need to make sure we set up somewhere in Moscone.
There could be a D&D session there.
I'll run a Death by Consensus game there, and we'll have everybody playing live.
That would be awesome.
Yes. All right.
Another weird story. The weird story of the week was Colossal Biosciences raised another $120 million, adds to the $200 million they had already gotten, and they have advanced into another stage of de-extincting the dodo bird.
What?
So they had done.
Wait.
They had done this with the the dire wolf some months ago.
Wait,
their
stop
grand
it.
plan.
Stop it.
Grand plan is to de-extinct the woolly mammoth.
Wow.
So what was the name of the group that did this?
Colossal Biosciences. And if it sounds like Jurassic Park, you're correct.
It does. Are they keeping them all on an island, or
They're like related to, right? They're taking something and they're
ecological
it.
preserve where the wolves are right now. They're alive. Those wolves.
Wow.
Yeah, the semantic debate that they've gotten into though is like to call a genetically engineered and CRISPR edited version of a wolf that is born from a wolf surrogate dog, or that to call that a dire wolf is not really correct. Right.
Yes.
But then these guys say, this walks and looks and, fights like a dire wolf. And so, if you have a problem with that, then there are no dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Right. There's something else. But, this something else sure looks like a dire wolf, right?
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
If that's the closest that we can get, then it's still
cool.
pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they have the complete genome for the dodo bird. They had fragments of the dire wolf that were separated by like one was 60,000 years ago and one was 13,000 years ago. And then they have wolves today, right? And so then they were able to just basically do computational,
somebody was like in VI, like copy paste.
Oh my gosh. Oh, for those of you that don't know what that is, go Google it.
Amazing science, right? Still,
that's super awesome.
And it's
CRISPR stuff's wild.
Yeah. They're also like they've opened up a vault, and they're taking blood samples from every animal they can in case they become extinct and need to be brought back.
Bowl. That's a good idea.
And so with these DNA samples, though, they can get the exact animal back.
Oh man,
that's cool.
Yeah. Did you see who else raised $120 million?
Who is that?
Yeah, Lingo Kids. Yeah.
Lingo Kids, exactly. Holy cow! That's a big raise for Lingo Kids. A huge ed tech product. Probably, I think probably the number one paid
cool product
kids learning app.
Have you had a chance to play around with it, or?
I have. Yeah, I mean, I've been comparing all the like top free apps and paid apps for kids. It's good. What I don't know is if it's effective, because I'm not a 2 to 8 year old kid and I haven't read the research, but it's certainly engaging. It's nailed that. But I'm excited to see what they do. Raising $120 million. I was like,
yeah, they have thousands of different pieces of content between games and videos and things now. So
yeah. I should look more into the research of it, because I think like typically this like aside from Lingo Kids, just generally there are free apps with research backing that they're effective, and then there are paid apps without research backing that are engaging. And like traditionally, that's sort of how things have netted out in the ed tech space. What you really want is something that's a little bit of both, and maybe free to play.
That's right.
In the middle, so it's more accessible to people. So I don't know enough to know, but I assume that's where they're headed, or that's where they are.
Yeah, like what Chris mentioned last week, the game class thing that teaches you through gameplay. Yeah,
what a cool idea. Yeah, I need to talk to them still. I love that.
Yes, you do, and happy to make that happen too. Well, speaking of other cool tools, there was I got connected to a gentleman that's created a tool for people to create. Basically, it's almost like, I think it was like Roblox and like steroids, right? It is this company called Creative. It's no-code platform, empowers anyone to develop and publish commercial quality games, animations, and interactive applications. It's still kind of, closed. They haven't shown a lot of it publicly yet, but I had a chance to actually go through the demo, and really, really cool. It's built on Unreal 5, and basically everything that you would put into the environment, including things like terrain deformation and like mesh collision and merging and stuff like that. It's kind of all automagically done. And we built this environment in real time, and doing things like, you've built this island and now you need to create a road that goes from, the beach back to where your encampment is. And it not only like cuts through, but it like it replaces vegetation and easement and stuff like that. So you just draw a spline, and then it goes, the whole island changes like to match. It's really, really cool stuff. So
that is cool.
Yeah, and so it'll be really. I'm very interested to see how it continues to develop, but already extremely impressive. So go ahead and make sure you head on over and check them out.
Green screen us in next week on the world that you made.
Oh yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Live from Creative.
That's right. Exactly. So yeah, I thought that one's also pretty cool. Pretty cool tool.
What did you guys think of the Tencent Sony latest thing? Well, actually, there's like a Tencent Sony IP thing, copyright lawsuit, and then there's the Nintendo patent thing.
The one going back to Horizon, you mean, or something newer?
Blah 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 blah. Yeah. There was just an update on the Horizon thing. Yeah, Tencent coming out and with a rebuttal saying, that it basically like it's not illegal to have similar genres in your games. This is the game industry. We do that all the time. It says it's not a monopoly on genre conventions, is the quote here.
And she has blonde hair instead of red hair too. Right?
It's totally different. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, and then the Nintendo thing this week. Nintendo patented some game mechanics, which were a little bit hair raising too. And I think those two things.
Like if you summon another creature into your sort of presence in a game, Nintendo has a patent on it.
Because nobody does that in other games.
Well, but I thought it was more that it's summoned in, and then you're able to like mount that creature and like ride them. I thought it's not just the one, but it's like this other expanded thing. And perhaps I haven't read enough, so I may be wrong on it.
Yeah.
Just there's been too much going on, but it just feels like a possibly reaction to some of the other IP and things like that.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
I just
reaction to Power World, right?
Yeah, I just don't have a position because I haven't read it yet. So
yeah, I need to read it too. I have a reaction, but not a position.
Right. Well, I did read a little of this one, and it's definitely a pretty awesome one. Over there, GamesBeat, that smart crew, Fortnite developers reporting this can soon start selling in-game items, paying for sponsored placement.
That's super interesting.
Yeah, right.
GamesBeat ads coming soon.
That could be good
that's right, exactly. Sponsored by Dean. This is Dean's level. This is Dean's path through there. Dean.
Our freelancer, David Jagno, wrote that story.
Yep.
Oh, really? Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
No, that is happening. It's going to be like a version of DE Dust from Counter-Strike, and it'll have GamesBeat ads on the walls.
According to the Earn on Roblox webpage, approximately 25% of inexperienced purchases are distributed to creators compared to approximately 74% for Fortnite once the feature launches. As stated, that pay will decrease to approximately 37% starting in 2027. So, right.
Super interesting.
Yeah. So, but more ways for content creators to generate revenue against their creations. So I think that's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I know we have less than 10 minutes left here. So anybody have, I have two things that came out of the chat here that I wanted to mention, but do we have anything else? Any other big news stories? Susan, you've been suspiciously quiet.
Around to promoting GamesBeat Next. We have this event coming on November 12th and 13th in San Francisco.
Yep.
And getting lots of speakers for it. One of them is going to be John Haidt. He's the president of Wizards of the Coast. We have multiple AI panels. Hillary Mason is on one. We have a Women VCs panel with Emily Guerrero, Emily Wang, some other folks as well. And Mac Reynolds, he's the brother of the lead singer of Imagine Dragons, and he veered off into making his own video game now, and so he's got something called Lost Flag that's coming. So
very cool.
Fun stuff, and we're feature our Lightspeed GamesBeat contest too for best game companies. Tech companies. So.
Cool.
That's
I
awesome.
look forward to that. That sounds great.
Hey.
Wish I was there, Dean.
You should come.
That's right.
Well,
But now I got to make sure I get there.
Still getting up the courage for GDC. I think it's going to happen this year.
Well, speaking of conferences, Elio here in our chat here, friend of show, says, the thing that he would talk about is maybe Hideo Kojima coming to the Brazil Game Show next October 3rd, which is the third biggest, or next October, third biggest gaming event in the world today. So that's pretty awesome. They got them there. And then he also reminded me to mention that friend of all of ours, Rebecca Heineman had shared some information regarding some health issues. And so we just wanted to say that we love you and we're sending you the best possible healing vibes and all of those great things. So, we're thinking of you and
hang in there.
Yeah. And reach out, right? Friends, family, people are there to help. So So anyway, Ilya, thank you for reminding me of those two things.
Well, we're running up on 5 minutes, so
Yes.
I'm going to show my little
Mark's got some
recovery
show
just
and
for
tell.
giggles. I might have some show and tell for a little while. We'll see, but how many of you know what this is? I mean, it says on it. It is, yeah. Look at these ports back here. There's like 2 phone ports. Yeah, I covered it up.
Those are 2
port,
RJ11s, a parallel port, and dip switches.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, there's a volume knob on the side.
There
too.
sure is.
So you can hear, the as you connect to the internet at 28.8.
That's right.
Yeah.
The U.S.
Recovered
Robotics.
this from my mom's house.
That was a 28. That was a 28.8. You said.
28.8.
I remember when Hayes had their 9600 baud modems, those giant black monolith slabs. It was like something from the future. Couldn't believe it.
This is part of the things that I'm recovering from my mom's house. The other thing I recovered this week was 400 photos off of her Nintendo DS IXL.
That's so good. So
went all
good.
the way back to 2011. So there were like photos of just like random things. It was really nice to be able to go through that. So thank you, Nintendo, for having that functionality in there.
That's amazing.
That's really cool.
You said it was the DS, not the 3DS.
Actually, one of them was a DSi XL, if I remember
Right.
correctly, and one of them was a 3DS. I think that was also an XL. They're both big.
Yeah. So now you get to look at them in 3D, some of those pics, right?
So, yeah, I got to figure out the format. When you download it, it's a JPEG and an NPO. I don't know what that is. So I gotta figure it out.
Well, we were talking last week about the Nintendo Direct and the Virtual Boy add-on. You saw that, right?
Oh, I did. I totally did.
So then somebody in the emulation scene was just like, well, there is one for your 3DS. So 3D without glasses. I was like, oh my goodness, people are going to have a field day with that.
Yeah, it's all right. This is the 3DS XL.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Listen to that click. You also have your Commodore 64 shirt. Is that for
I know, it's a day here. It's DSi.
Yes.
All the things in the house today. 64 shirt. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, because they just got bought, right? By Perry Fractic and a bunch of people. But all the Commodore stuff's going to be releasing a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, I know. Speaking of Commodore, I found another old issue of Compute Gazette from 1985 for $2.95. So we're going to get to cracking and typing in some of these killer basic games right here. It hurts just to look at that.
You take a picture of it and upload it to ChatGPT.
Yes, and see if it can. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, but before we get out of here, Dean, what are you playing?
Top secret sword fighting game.
Ooh.
Okay.
I can guess who it might be if it's a sword fighting game. Maybe not. I don't know.
Do you have to use a real broadsword?
I know.
Okay. All right. So it's not Neil Stevenson. We know that. Then.
That's what I was thinking, totally. All right. I look forward to that.
Very good. Susan, how about you?
I just installed a game that I hadn't played called Fights in Tight Spaces the other day.
Fights in tight.
When you said fights in tights, I was like, okay.
No, I know. It's a really weird name, but it's a striking looking game. It's all like black, white, and red, and it's a like a series of like bar fights, but it's a roguelike. So you've got cards to play. It's a deck builder.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy. What an
Isn't that wild looking?
Yeah.
And I think I don't think it came out recently or anything, but no, it came out 4 years ago. That's how with the times I am. It was a Raw Fury published game.
Wow.
And I don't know why I came across it, but I did, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And it was like £4 or something like that. It's on sale for now when I bought it, so I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent.
So
How
that's
about you, Mr. Delora? Anything? What are you playing?
What am I playing? Yeah, not. I'm not playing much of anything. I'm revisiting my Duolingo after the Duolingo conference was this past week. And I'm doubling down on my Duolingo. They have it now, so you can upload your language score to your LinkedIn profile.
Yeah, I
so
saw that.
Awesome, and made me think I need to do this at work a little more. So.
Well, after you posted your score, like 87 or something like that, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
90.
maybe, or no, maybe it was it was more than that. I'm like, all right, maybe I need to
It's
go.
Japanese
some of
still.
that.
Yeah. I got some work to do still.
Well, I have to go ahead and get started. Yeah, the only thing I've been doing, I finally finished, right? It was only a 2-hour long game, but I finally just had enough time to sit back, finish. Thank goodness you're here. Oh my gosh,
awesome.
what a
Oh, did you
fun.
enjoy it? I thought about
loved it.
grabbing that. Did you?
I loved it so much because it was just so weird and absurd, and the art's lovely, and the music is ridiculous. Like, it was crazy. It was a crazy little game. I'm going in and playing Stormlancers now as well, so really loving that. And still Donkey Kong, need to get through that, and still need to get through Silk Song, and still need to, just it's too many games, not enough time. That's why, hey, story mode guy right here, because that's
Oh, nerds.
That's right. Nerds. But that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this week's Boss Rush. I want to thank my co-hosts, as always, Dean Takahashi, Susan Cummings, and Mr. Mark Delora for making their way out. I want to thank everybody that went ahead and joined us today. Please let people know about Boss Rush. Make sure you go and repost all this stuff to your socials and to walls and all of that other crazy stuff. And we will be back next week. We got to cut it off now because I got to get out. Anyway,
Have fun.
thanks, everybody.
Bye,
Have a
y'all.
wonderful rest of your day and awesome
you.
weekend. We'll see you next week. Bye.